All right, guys, I got a harsh truth for you. Listen, everything you want in life is on the other side of 3 boring years of hard work. You need to understand this. All of this kind of stuff, the physique that you want, the lifestyle of freedom and cool experiences and going on great trips and all that, the material possessions, the nice car, the nice house, the dates with pretty women. All of this stuff is on the other side of 3 years of boring, hard work. And this is something that 99% of men will never do. And so they never get what they actually want out of life. And you have to be different if you want a good life. Okay. It really looks like this. This is what life looks like for men. Everybody's on this one side over here, these little stick figure guys. And then you've got this giant pile of shit that is standing between you and everything you want in life. And it literally just takes 3 years to get from where you're at right now as like a nobody who maybe you're living with your parents, maybe you're not making that much money, or you're in a career you don't like, you don't have the dating life you want. Life's just not where you want it to be. Going from that to the stuff you want in life is literally just you eating shit for 3 years. That's all it is, guys. Seriously. But the thing is that 3 years is too big of a price for most men. And so they settle for this shit right here. They settle for that physique. They settle for a Karen wife. They settle for working in an office like that, some cubicle fluorescent lit bullshit, driving a minivan with the kids screaming in the back, putting boogers on the seats and shit like that as they go to Chili's. This is what most people's lives are like. Instead of great vacations, they're going to Chili's. That's like their monthly trip. They saved up their money all month so they could take the kids to Chili's. You're driving that minivan to Chili's with your wife nagging you in the shotgun seat. You have that physique in that cubicle. This is what most people settle for in their lives because they just would not do this. They would not eat this pile of shit for 3 years, guys. You have to be different. Is this what you want out of your life? This is what 99% of life is like. Some suburban fucking Chili's with a beer gut body, driving a minivan with an unattractive, unappealing wife working in a cubicle. This is what most people settle for in life because they just wouldn't eat shit for 3 years. Everything you want is on the other side of that pile of shit. If you don't want to end up like this, you have to cut out the bullshit and spend the next 3 years getting jacked and making a lot of money. Because listen, everything you want is downstream of these two things. Because I can already hear people objecting to this shit. But listen, everything you want is downstream of making a lot of money and getting in great shape. The mindset that you want is going to be built through the gym and martial arts and building a business. The physique, the attractive body you want, obviously is built in the gym. The lifestyle you want of having cool experiences and freedom, this is all on the other side of building a freedom business. Women want to date a guy with a cool lifestyle who's good looking. That's the gym and that's making money. You got to understand this stuff. Even things like, having an attractive face, when you're in the gym, it literally changes your bone structure. You get a more attractive face for going to the gym. It also means you're going to be leaner, which means your face is going to look more angular and masculine. So even things like general facial attractiveness are improved by going to the gym. It increases your testosterone. It helps you with your sex drive, your confidence, your focus. All of this stuff is benefited by getting in the gym and getting jacked. Everything in your life will be improved by focusing on these two things, but these are the two things that everybody wants to avoid. People don't want to go to the gym and put in the time. People don't want to go build a business. They'd rather chase ass on a dating app or go out to a club with their shithead friends that they don't even really like. And so they settle for this bullshit in their life instead of doing what they know they need to do, which is putting in the work. And that's what you have to be different about. If you want more out of life, listen, if you watch this channel, this is an obscure channel on the side of the internet. This is like the back alley of YouTube that you're watching this content on. You're clearly different. You want more out of life. You have to start acting differently. You have to understand that you cannot live like normal people. You have to put in that time. You have to do the work, that boring work for 3 years, focusing on getting jacked and making a lot of money, and everything else in your life is downstream of that. You have to put in the time. You can literally go from a nobody to the top 1% in 3 years. Let's say you're 24 years old right now watching this video. You're, not making that much money. You're, not in great shape. You're kind of a nobody. You don't really have any friends. Maybe you live with your parents. Maybe you have some dingy apartment or something like that, but your life's not where you want it to be. Listen, you can literally go from there to the top 1% in 3 years. And you want to know how I know this? Here's the math on it. 2.8% of Americans live a healthy lifestyle. What does that mean? It means that they have a healthy body fat percentage, they exercise regularly, and they follow a diet. 2.8% of Americans do those three things. Then you think about 15% of Americans make over 6 figures per year. So that means 85% of Americans are making less than $100,000 per year. So let's combine those two things. If you combine the 2.8% plus the 15%, you get 0.4% of the population is living a healthy lifestyle and making over six figures. So all you have to do to be a top 1% man is just be in shape and make six figures. It's not that crazy. It might feel hard, but truthfully, 3 years of hard work, which most people will not do, you can have this shit. And you can have the life that you want. You got to understand that you can go from a nobody to the top 1% in 3 years, okay? And 3 years is no time at all. I know a lot of you guys are younger. You're in your early 20s, mid 20s. It feels like 3 years is just this crazy amount of time. It is no time at all. Look, this right here shows ages from 18 to 78 in 5-year increments. Let's say that you're 21 right now and that's your physique and you're broke. At 21 years old, that's you. Well, at 24, you could be that. You could have that physique and be making $15,000 a month, and that's conservative. I know plenty of people who've gone from zero to way more than $15,000 a month in less than 3 years. So this is me being conservative. You can go at 21, you can have that physique and be broke to making $15,000 a month and that physique at 24. Do you see how small of a time gap that is when you consider your entire life? Look at how small it is on the grand scale of things. When you zoom out, you realize 3 years is no time at all, and your life's going to pass you by either way. Are you going to do the work, or are you going to avoid it and spend your entire life regretting it? Because that's what most people do. They spend all 80 years of their life avoiding the 3 years of hard work that would have gotten them ahead of everybody. Okay? And even if you're 28 right now, let's say you're 28. Well, look, by 31, you've got all this stuff. You've still got the rest of your life ahead of you to be the best guy out there. Do you see how this is like a no-brainer? Get jacked, make a lot of money. It takes 3 years of doing the shit, getting through the boring work, working your ass off, and you're ahead of everybody. It's literally nothing, guys, okay? The man you want to be with the life you want to live is just 3 years away. Understand that, okay? Like, seriously, I mean, the freedom you want, the career that you want, the dating life that you want, all of this stuff, it is 3 years away. Listen, this video, I put this in a recent video. It was titled, What Going All In Actually Looks Like. And I told the story of how I was homeless. And literally about 2 years ago to the date, right now, I was homeless. This video right here, I'll play a little bit of it here in a second, was literally me about to be homeless. Figure this deserves a video. I am about to be living in my car for, I don't know how long. The date is what, May 15th, 2023. I moved to Houston, Texas in January. I had faith in myself that I could accomplish something big, and here I am living in my car. I can't even afford a goddamn place to live. So I had moved to Houston, Texas, and I was working on trying to start a business, and shit was just not working out for me, as you can see, and I ended up being homeless. I slept in my car for a night, and then I ran into a friend of mine, and he was able to give me a place to stay. He said, you can stay in my garage for a little while, and so I lived right here on this cot in a garage in Houston, Texas for a month and a half. It's the summer. It's 80 degrees at night. I can barely sleep. This is some detached garage. It had like spiders and roaches and shit on the floor. It was a way bigger upgrade from my car, I will tell you that for sure. So I was definitely grateful to have it. But like, that's where I was living literally 2 years ago. I was in a garage with no money to my name, could not even afford the cheapest Airbnb that I could find on Airbnb for Houston, Texas. It was like $1,200 a month. I didn't even have $1,200 for an Airbnb. So I'm sleeping in a garage. I have no money to my name. This is where I was at 2 years ago. And now 2 years later, here we are. I'm on vacations. I'm making over $10,000 a month, doing a career that I enjoy. I have freedom in my life. I have friendships that I've never had. I have a better dating life than I've ever had. It was 2 years, guys. Okay, like it is not much. Understand how small that is. When you think about it, like when you think about 2 years right now, it feels like a lot. But the time is going to pass. And if you just focus day by day on doing the right shit, it compounds and you blow past everybody and you look back and realize it was no time at all. When you think back on your life, you're going to realize that it's mainly these little epochs that happened. There's like 10 moments that define your life to this point. And all this shit, like months of your life gets compressed down to like a moment. And that is what this is going to be. You're going to look back on your life and think about one moment. And it was a 3-year time period where you put in the fucking work and got ahead of everybody. And you're just going to remember it as a moment in your life, a period where you did something, and then it's done and you're on to the next thing. Understand how game-changing this is, guys. Just get in the gym and build a fucking business and you can be ahead of everybody in 3 years. That's it. Seriously. The 99% aren't willing to pay this price, and so they live their entire lives with regret. They live in mediocrity. Karen wife nagging them, shitty physique, feeling embarrassed of who they are. They're not the man they were meant to be, on their way to a Chili's diner in suburban America with a Honda minivan with a check engine light on. Like, that's how they live, because they just wouldn't do this shit. They avoided it like the fucking plague. And I'm telling you guys, be fucking different. Do the work, okay? Seriously. Don't live a shitty 80 years to avoid a hard 3. That should be your mindset right now. If you're not where you want to be in life, lock the fuck in. 3 years in the fucking trenches. Say no to all the stupid hangouts with your friends who are playing video games and doing all this bullshit. Don't even try to do the dating, because you're not going to get the girls you want right now anyways. Just lock the fuck in. I promise you, you will find yourself through this process as well. I've got a number of videos discussing this. Go watch my video, Leave the World Behind and Focus on Yourself. Go watch these videos, guys. Go watch the Stay Single and Boring for 3 years video. This is the mentality that you need to have. This is what we're about on this channel. This is how you life max. This is how you get to a great place in life, is 3 years of boring bullshit work, eating the shit that other people won't eat so you can have all the shit that you want in life. If you spend the next 3 years building your body and your income, you will be ahead of 99% of men for the rest of your life. Just think about that. That's all you should be focusing on, getting up and focusing on getting better at these 2 things. Put the knowledge in your brain and take action. That's what you should be doing. Then you have the rest of your life to focus on everything else. All that other shit that you feel like you can't wait on right now, the girl that you just have to date, the trip you just have to take, you don't even want this stuff. Let's be real. You're settling for imitations of what you really want. You don't want to go to like the random beach. You want to go to like Miami and have money to have fun. You don't want, like a 3-day weekend. What you want is a freedom life. You don't want the 5 out of 10 girl that you're convincing yourself is your dream girl. You want that really pretty girl that you actually want. But all of this shit is on the other side of the 3 years. But listen, you feel like you can't miss out on this stuff, but it'll be there again. The fast car that you think is so cool that you just have to have right now, there'll be a new one in 3 years. I remember when I was 18 years old, I was thinking about like the Dodge Challenger Hellcat. And then at 23 or some shit like that, I'm thinking about like the new Corvette with the mid-engine, right? The mid-engine Corvette that came out. And then I'm thinking about the Aston Martin DB11. And then the DB12 comes out, and now I don't even want the DB11. I want the DB12. You see, it's just new car. And like all this shit you think you had to have, you don't want anymore. It's like I wanted when I was 16 years old, I wanted the LeBron shoes. Now I want the next shoe. I don't even really like shoes like that. It's like all this stuff that you think you want right now, you don't actually want. I thought I just had to go on this trip back then, and then I realized I didn't even want that. It's like, you know what I mean? All the girls that it didn't work out for with me, maybe I dated them and it just didn't happen for whatever reason. It's like another girl just pops up. There's 3.5 billion of them on the planet. Don't waste your entire life avoiding this 3 years because you're dealing with shit that you feel like you can't let go of. It's like, let go of it. It'll be there in 3 years and you'll actually get what you want. Okay? It'll all be waiting for you. I promise you. If you just do this work, it will all be waiting for you on the other side of it. Okay? If you aren't where you want to be in life, cut everything out and focus on these 2 things. Getting jacked, making a lot of money. That's what you need to be focusing on. And so this video was a pretty quick motivational one, guys. I just wanted to hopefully fire you guys up and help you refocus on the shit that matters. If you want a complete breakdown of this philosophy, go watch my video, Stay Single and Boring for 3 years. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you later.